This episode of Tryin is brought to you by LG's G3. Welcome to Tryin.
Build something new with other people's money.
I'm Patrick Norton.
I'm Michael Land.
Usually we build like sub $500 gaming PCs on this show. We're frugal.
We find things on the side of the street and then we use them.
Today, however, cost is no object.
No, we have $2,900 worth of parts of an editor here that he's building a home PC and wanted the best of everything.
And he got it. I mean, you could have spent a couple, $300-400 more, but not for much in the way of performance. Core i7 5930K processor, 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM,
GTX 980,
X99 motherboard, 1000 watt power supply, liquid cooling.
Yeah, so this is gonna be great and I can't wait to put it together.
Is that a Thunderbolt card?
Yeah, Thunderbolt, because why not?
Let's get building.
This is an X99 motherboard. It's part of the LGA 2011 V3 chipset.
So X99's probably overkill for anybody other than a video editor. It takes the Core i7 parts, the Haswell E's up to 8 cores max, up from 6 cores, DDR4, which is less about speed over DDR3 than it is about the quad channel means there's gonna be a ridiculous amount of bandwidth. The memory's running at a lower voltage. There's 10 SATA ports all running at 6G on this board. So you can do, and they're grouped in one group of 6, one group of 4. So you could do a 6-drive RAID with all drives in 6G. There were 2 6G ports with like a maximum of 6 SATA ports on the X79.
And we have the unlocked processor, so overclocking with this is gonna be very fun and very easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, board comes with the ability to basically run 3 GPUs for like high-end gamers.
The CPU that we're using is the Intel i7 5930K.
That's a Core i7 5930K. So this is one of the new Haswell E processors, along with the 5820K and 5960K.
The reason why we're going with the Haswell E as opposed to something like Devil's Canyon, the other i7s, a couple of reasons. One, you get 6 cores, which is really important for the multi-process encoding.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The 5960X, which is the top line Haswell E, is running 8 cores, 16 threads. The 5930K in this machine has 6 cores, 12 threads, and 15 megabytes of cache. It's almost double the amount of cache in Devil's Canyon, the 4790K. It's maybe the heaviest processor I've ever picked up.
Good.
Looks good to me.
Motherboard, CPU. These Intel LGA 2011 chips don't come with stock coolers, so you need an external one. That's why we have this liquid cooler here. All right, X99 is quad channel. So we have 4 separate sticks of memory here. The case that we're using is the Corsair Graphite Series 760T. This thing is huge. It has a whole lot of fans in it, tons of drive space. The nice thing about actually spending money on a case is that everything becomes so much simpler. This is a pretty big case.
Yeah, I thought it might be a little blingy, big plastic door, red LEDs on the fans. There's 3 tool-free 2.5-inch SSD bays, 6 3.5-inch drive bays, 4 5.25-inch drive bays, and there's this lid that snaps off the top, magnetic lid, so if you need to use a radiator like we did for the cooling in this, you have a big wide space that's pre-drilled to accept that. Ta-da!
It's built! I wasn't even surprised when it worked the first time I turned it on because the last couple of PCs that I've made have done that, so I think it's just easier now.
I'd just like to thank Intel and Microsoft for working together to make PCs easy to assemble and more functional.
Thank you. So the first thing I did with this when everything was all installed was I tried out some 4K video and it runs so smoothly, it's amazing.
Would you be discussing video shot with the LG G3? They're our sponsor, and not only do they have Quad HD on the front, but it records 4K video, and that camera, ladies and gentlemen, laser autofocus.
And cool LG features like a knock code to unlock your phone without needing a pin. It's pretty cool, but yes, all of that 4K video actually was from the phone, and everything is so smooth, it's amazing. I love it.
It's kind of painful when you put together a machine like this because you suddenly realize how slow your machine is. Kevin, the freelance editor we put this together for, is going to freak the delete expletive out because he's been editing on like a 4-year-old iMac with 4 gigabytes of RAM.
And he's been doing After Effects sequences, which is a whole nother beast that you need a better computer for. It should be a great PC. We compared this to our already amazing internal edit machines, which were pretty much last year's $3,000 build.
6-core processor, 64 gigabytes of RAM, SSDs, GTX 6080 GPUs, stupid fast. The editors still weep when they touch them because our old machines were like 3 years old when we replaced them.
Yeah, so compared to those, this was probably like a 7% increase on a 1080p sequence. I did a couple of H.264 exports. But it's still a really fast machine. It's probably the fastest edit machine you can build right now.
Really interesting, when you moved the render from running on the SSD to running on the RAM disk, you dropped it 20%, like from 94 seconds down to 78 seconds.
Yeah, so that's another thing to keep in mind when you're building something like this. More memory or really fast disk arrays will also really help with your editing speeds.
I'd go for more memory. I want to put 64 gigs in this immediately. Because, you know, we're still spending other people's money.
Who cares how much DDR4 is?
Do us a favor, tweet at Tryin.
And subscribe, because if you're lazy like me, you don't want to go out and looking for shows, so it'll just come straight to you.
Tryin.com to find all of the links. I'm Patrick Norton.
I'm Michael Hand.
We'll see you next week on Tryin.
It's a big
You're such a drama queen.